Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Bank Shot Agent podcast with your host, Denny in the Shrine. Today's topic, depression. Denny, how are we doing?
How's it going, man? Wow, lots to talk about today. Wednesday, June 5th, 7:16 p.m. It's good to be back on the mic after a little hiatus. Last time we were on, we were just approaching the conference finals, kind of wrapping up the semifinals and getting into the finals of the conference finals. And now we are into the big dance. A lot to talk about to kind of review the conference finals, and we'll do a little preview of the finals. We'll just say that the teams in the finals are not our favorite of who we're wanting to watch.
Don't let this Celtics hoodie that I'm wearing fool you guys. I did not buy this with my own money. Either way, we're still here. We're still going to talk about it. I mean, we're trying to be as most unbiased as we can here.
Yep.
I mean, not always, but sometimes it leaks through. But we'll talk real ball. We'll give the flowers where flowers are due.
Yep.
And that's why we're here. Talk some basketball.
Yep. So let's get into it.
First off, some big news happened the other week. The NBA media rights deal is officially signed and done. Jacob. Denny, do you know what that means?
It means that the greatest show of all time is, I think, going to have one more year and then they're done.
Yeah.
Absolutely heartbreaking that the TNT crew is going to have one last ride. I mean, anyone who watches that show knows. I mean, those guys have been doing it forever. Same four. I mean, it's my favorite thing to watch, even if there's not a game going on. So it's tough to see that happen, and we're gonna have to enjoy it this next season because it's never going to be another pregame, postgame, halftime show like that with that squad.
Yeah, I got mixed feelings, honestly, because there's such clouds, and most of the times it's just them shitting around. But it's so funny. Obviously, every basketball fan is going to miss it, no matter what the Chuck talk shit about your team or not. When Chuck just saying shit out of his ass, or just that banter between Chuck and Shaq was so much fun. And then you just have Kenny the Jet just popping in out of nowhere every once in a while. They have Ernie just trying to calm everybody down and keep it.
That guy's. I mean, Ernie Johnson's the GOAT. I mean, that guy's got the accreditation from everyone. He's the GOAT.
What a stat crew. All right, real quick, but the biggest, other than that, a huge thing for the media rights deal is what Adam Silver said the last 2 years. Once we get the new media rights deal done, then they're talking expansion. So as you know, we have this tradition here on the show where we take a shot. We're going to continue taking a shot until the Seattle Supersonics are back. The whole point to bring this up is that we not be taking shots in the near future is what I'm hearing. And goddamn, if we do expansion without Seattle, it's not right. I'm Silver can go suck a dick. Oh, sorry, PG. Oh, I don't give a shit.
We're explicit on here. We're explicit on here. Yeah.
Everybody here wants a basketball culture. Basketball culture is great here. As you can see, we're repping Sonic stuff here to this day. Everybody wears Sonic stuff still. You still have the great Sean Kemp here with his own business here. Great business. We're big supporters of it here.
Fully supported.
Fully supported. And then, Gary Payne still has his stuff here as well, and ties as well. And some people love this city, and we want basketball back here. So real quick, just a little gin with some cherry in it as our shot today. And we're going to continue taking these shots until the great Seattle Supersonics joins the great association we like to call the NBA.
Yes, sir.
Cheers, sir.
Bring him back.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Something else is going to say about the media rights deal. I blanked on it.
What was it? How much money was it again?
Shit ton.
Something crazy.
Yeah, and NBC is getting back some. NBC is getting back media rights deal, right?
Yep, back in the day with Bob Costas on the call for the NBA Finals. It's gonna be $76 billion.
You know what that also means? We're gonna have some NBA on Peacock.
Oh, that's big time.
So that'll be big. Yeah, I mean,
are they still keeping it with HBO?
I don't know because that was TNT.
Oh fuck, that's right.
I don't think TNT is cut out completely though. They just have less showtime.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because that was pretty clutch being able to watch some games on HBO.
Yeah,
HBO Max.
We didn't talk about the media rights deal for this episode, but I mean, we're kind of impromptu.
Got to bring it up. Yeah.
One thing before we start getting to playoff basketball, we'd like to send our condolences to the late great Mr. Bill Walton himself, who just passed away this other week. And we got Trent coming on. Should we have Trent on the live podcast right now? Should we do it?
He's gonna let's do it. What's he about to say?
Trent. Hello. We're live on the podcast right now. What do you got to say?
Go Lakers.
Yeah, they're not in here, buddy. Who do you got? Who do you got? Celtics or Mavericks?
Fuck the Celtics. Go Mavs.
How many games, Trent? Mavs and what?
I'm gonna say Mavs in 6.
Okay.
Mavs in 6. And who wins the MVP?
Yep. I'm gonna have Kyrie win MVP.
Okay, I like it. You don't go for the favorite Luka there. Okay.
No, Kyrie is too clutch. He's clutch. He's gonna lock it up.
All right.
I like that.
All right, I like it.
I like that, Trent.
All right, Trent, I'll call you back later.
Okay, man. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Trent always wanted to be on the podcast.
He finally made it on the pod.
He finally made it on the pod. And for that very first statement is the reason why I don't have him on this pod, because all he says is fuck you Laker bullshit. Just kidding. We love you, Trent, and we will have you on the pod probably for next season sometime. But
thanks for a little impromptu appearance, Trent.
Also, bad moment because I was trying to say a nice little thank you to Bill Walton.
But going back to that, yeah, no, seriously, R.I.P. to Bill Walton. I mean, he's one of a kind.
It means a lot different to us because we're from a Pac-12 school, and he was the biggest Pac-12 supporter there ever was, and
he waved at us at the
we were his last wave in Seattle.
Yep.
We were down there at the field or on the court right after the Apple Cup game of Wazoo versus Utah basketball went to overtime. Bill Walton's up there in the Pac-12 booth, and then we just started chanting Bill, 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 and he came around, gave us a big wave, and that was probably, we were pretty sure that was his last time in Seattle as well. So it's hard to think that we got to see him right before his passing, but man, NBA legend for sure. He made it into the NBA top 75 back in 2015 when they did that. And he's forever Hall of Famer. And, he brought in his son to the NBA basketball world as well, Luke Walton, who coached the Lakers and also played a little bit.
Yep.
And he'll be a true legend, missed, and just sad reality with a lot of these guys coming in age. But, man, one of the biggest smiles you ever see in the NBA. So, thank you, Bill Walton. Apologies to his family. Condolences.
Yeah, condolences to the family. He was a legend.
And to the basketball community. Just, God, that hurt a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna power through.
Anyway, yeah.
All right,
let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We had a lot of just interruptions, but we're going.
Let's go. Let's get into we're gonna review the conference finals.
Yes, sir.
Talk about how those teams got to the finals. Let's talk about the East first, Matt. Let's look at this Pacers Celtics series. Celtics took it in 4, but I would say that every game the Pacers were in it,
except game 2.
Except for game 2, and also what Hallie went down in game 1.
Yep.
And they were still holding their own. So I would say I was impressed by the Pacers.
Yeah, it just adds to the narrative of this Boston team getting every single step they need to get to this finals here. And I'll talk about that when we talk about the finals prep in a minute. But game 1, 128 to 133 in overtime. Celtics won it. And you got to think these are like the top 2, I believe, offenses in the NBA. So that was awesome to see. Every game was over 100 points versus like a lot of the games earlier on in the West were just not over 100 points. So it's good to see lots of offense. But yeah, it sucked without Halliburton. He was coaching really well on the sideline. He was up and he's getting up. And you can tell he wanted to be out there. So it's not like he's faking or anything like that, but just tough to see. And then you really had a position where a lot of these guys had to step up. And I just don't feel like it's hard to ask a lot. Like
it's a very young team. It's hard to ask. It's hard to ask this team who has not been this far in the playoffs to step up and do all of this.
They did step up, but like not enough to keep up with the Celtics. It just You couldn't.
Yeah, the crazy part is that, a couple of these games, the Pacers were, hanging around, or they were actually winning.
Yeah.
And
then they just came down.
Once you get into the fourth quarter, I think that's where the lack of experience, shows. Just a couple of mistakes here and there. We look at game one, they had that turnover, which led to the Jaylen Brown 3 to send it to OT.
Very controversial of people talking about whether or not they should have fouled or not.
Yep.
The shot before.
And I'm pretty sure in game 3, the Pacers were up a lot going into the fourth, and they were outscored I think it was 33-21. They were outscored in the fourth. And then you look at game 4, and then we all know what happened there, the Drew Holiday steal. So just a couple of things, here and there, which just kind of show their lack of experience. But I was very impressed by this Pacers team, what they did without Halliburton. Andrew Nembhard was able to take over kind of that role. He had 39, I think, in game 3, a couple of 20 bombs after that. Siakam was doing his thing. Miles Turner was doing his thing. We talk about McConnell a lot. I'm pretty sure he had, 20 plus in a couple of games. So a very good, Pacers team, which was just young, and they're going to learn from this. They're going to be back.
It'll be Toppin stepping up a little bit too.
Yep.
On the roll there.
Yep. The two role players who have just been killing it.
Turner out still too as well.
Yep.
So they're literally missing 2 of their top players, 2 of their starters first of all, and I think wasn't Pascal out one game as well.
Yeah, I think he might have.
And it was literally just it was Nembhard and I'm blanking on who was just running it. Oh, TJ McConnell.
Probably TJ.
Yeah, TJ and Nembhard were just running the team
TJ
by themselves.
TJ did very well replacing Halliburton.
TJ did. I was very impressed with TJ.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see the growth of the team overall. I'm excited to see the development of Halliburton in the offseason. He just needs to keep his foot on the gas and stay aggressive, and we know what he can do when he stays aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So this will not be the end of the Pacers team. They'll be back. Rick Carlisle is a great coach. He's a NBA champion, so they'll be back.
Yeah, a healthy Pacers team is minimum of 4 seed next year, and they ended 6 this year. They had injuries here and there as well. Hallie was never didn't play all 82 games or anything like that. But in this series, you got Jason Tatum's averaging 30.3, 10 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game. So he obviously was consistent every single night in and out. Jason Tatum was, and then Pascal Siakam on the other end was averaging 23.3 points per game and 7.5 rebounds and 4.5 assists. So, just Celtics is outplayed them a little bit. And I think the biggest part was Celtics defense is because Pacers are an offensive team. And so I think the Celtics, I've said all, when Celtics were outside of the T-Wolves having a very dominant team defensively, they were not top 5 in offense, right? But you have the Celtics, the most balanced team, top 3 in offense and defense, and it shows. But obviously, Pacers with injuries, it sucks, but you can't rely on it,
Yeah,
so.
No, they'll be back. I really love that front court of Siakam and Turner.
Yeah.
I feel like Miles Turner has really improved his 3-point shot over the past couple of seasons, and so now he's a threat. All the way out to the 3. Siakam's also a threat out to the 3. Siakam can facilitate. So this is a good team moving forward.
All right, out to the West.
Out to the West. Let's talk Mavs, Wolves.
Yep.
I wanted the Wolves to win this. It did not happen.
I wanted the Mavs to win this.
Mavs took this. Mavs took it 4-1. All I gotta say is that Luka and Kyrie have been on one since probably 3/4 of the way through the regular season. They've been unstoppable, and they have so much momentum right now going into the finals. It's going to be hard to stop either of those guys.
Yeah, Kyrie didn't even play a lot. He didn't get a lot in the OKC series. So it was actually really nice to see Kyrie come alive during this series because we know that wasn't going to hold up for long, especially against the T-Wolves, who, they barely got to the Western Conference Finals either against playing against the Nuggets there. Very tough series there. Every single game was close again. Really, Game 1, buzzer beater, Luka 3. Game 2, another buzzer beater, Luka 3. I'm not sure if that was a 3, but just back and forth all game 1 and 2. And it's hard to even have faith to come back after being down 0-2 and losing off buzzer beaters. But what I really liked was Nas Reed. Nas Reed in both those press conferences, he very hyped up and said, "No, we're good. We're good. We're gonna go out and win the next one." And I liked Naz Reid's attitude there. But they got it done in Game 4. Finally, Game 3 was the only game where it was like marginable lead by 9 points. It was the final with the Mavericks going over the T-Wolves there. But finally got it done in Game 4. They looked pretty good, and then could not do anything Game 5. So you got to come back. You got to come back for that.
Yeah, their main issue is that the Wolves' main issue is they could not stop the pick and roll with both Luka and Kyrie. I mean, you cannot have Rudy Gobert switch on to Luka, and it happened way too many times. And then when you look at the roller too, Derek Lively has really come alive in this playoffs. He has shown his ability to be a playmaker, a difference maker.
Yeah.
He comes off the screen, he's rolling off the screen. Luka gets him the ball, and then he is so good at being able to catch and already know where he's throwing it. Hit a guy in the corner, and this whole Mavericks team can knock down from 3. So he was really well at that. And it even showed, when Lively went down, Gafford and would try to kind of fill that role off the pick and roll. And his playmaking ability is not the same as Lively. And it showed on a couple of possessions. So I've been really impressed with Derek Lively's play. And that pick and roll with both Luka and Kyrie is just so deadly.
The fact that he could have been a Thunder kills me. No, I love Casey Wallace. I'm not upset. You can't go back on that. But who knows if Sam Presti would have drafted a center anyways? How small guard he's on. But no, the person I think I'm most impressed with out of all is Jason Kidd himself, because he's made adjustments every game. Because the T-Wolves come back, Chris Finch has gone back and made adjustments, and Jason Kidd's gone back and adjusted just to that. And he's using. Obviously, Luka's being Luka and doing his thing, but he's been using Kyrie in different situations. He's been using PJ Washington to be that corner shooter down there. Gafford has been absolutely insane defensively, just blocking left and right, and just being so good on the defensive end. That man has got hops, and he's tall. And I'm really.
They outplayed Cat and Gobert.
Yeah, they did
110%. All three of those guys
player
did.
Of the year, my ass.
Yeah, I mean they got outplayed.
They did. And Ant couldn't do it all by himself there at the end. And he had a really pretty impressive stat series for the series. He averaged 24.6 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 7.8 assists. But, I mean, not enough, because when you got Luke on the other side, averaging 32.4 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game during that whole entire series. So...
And I think part of the problem with the Wolves is that they were, I think they were settling for the 3 a little bit too much.
Yeah.
There were some possessions where they would just not even get into the shot clock. They would get the first pass and just jack it up. I mean, what was Cat in Game 3? He was 0 for 8 from 3.
Yeah.
I think this offense works best when the ball is in Anthony Edwards' hands and he can drive, kick, and being able to do that and make the defense collapse. It gives them a lot of second chance opportunities with Gobert down there, Cat down there to get rebounds. And so they just weren't playing their brand of basketball. And I think you have to credit that to Jason Kidd and the defense of the Mavs. They've been really stepping up defensively.
And you got to put this on Cat and Gobert a little bit, because when you look at it, the Mavs out-rebounded the T-Wolves the entire series by like 3 or 4 rebounds. And like, you had 2 big guys who were both like either all-team NBA of some sort or all-star, and not like they're just getting out-rebounded by one dude down below, because Gafford and Derek Lively were hardly ever on the court together. They always sub each other out. But you have one guy versus 2 guys who were dominant on the glass, and they could not get a rebound at all. And it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, you can't have Cat sitting at the 3-point line all game.
No.
Not going to get any second chance opportunities with that.
Just because you get invited to the 3-point contest doesn't mean you sit out there, pal. Like you're close to winning.
He put up 50. He said he put up 1,500 shots a day, or made 1,500 shots, or whatever that ridiculous comment was he made. You're not putting up 1,500 shots a day, Cat. Trust me.
Not from that shot that I see.
And that's a little bit concerning for a big man if you're putting up 1,500 threes. So,
I mean, good for you if you can shoot a 3, but like your game's not tailored to that. And
yeah, well, I mean, if you're 0 for 3, you gotta, I feel like, go away from it. Yeah. Get down low. I mean, you're a post player.
Seriously. Yeah. No.
Don't let yourself get to 0 for 8. I mean, that's just empty possessions. You guys are losing.
Yeah, so it kind of just felt like Ant was kind of just sporadic, and I just don't think his teammates helped him out that much in the end. Naz Reid was doing really good. I love Naz Reid, actually. He's he would deservingly won 6th man of the year. Yeah, I like Nas a lot this year.
Wolves they're another young team too.
Nas is probably their best 3-point shooter. Actually,
I mean, he was doing great. Him and Ant.
Yeah.
But they're just another young team who, I mean, they had to fight their way into the conference finals, and so to go up and play the Mavs is not an easy task. And they got outplayed. But I mean, we saw what Ant did all playoffs. We saw what Nas Reed was doing.
Yeah.
Nah. So they'll be back. And then my
been MVP's little cousin.
Yeah, my difference maker on that team, who I talked about, and I'm gonna talk about it again, is Mike Conley. Man, I mean, you just look at his plus minus when he's out there on the floor. He just really has an impact on the game.
Yeah, and I have my differences, Mike Conley, but yeah, he does have difference on the court, and he's got a lot of experience. So
he's that floor general. I feel like when he's out there alongside Ant, it takes the pressure off of Ant having, doesn't have to always necessarily have the ball, and then Conley will find him, or, they'll rotate the ball to Ant. Just didn't necessarily work this series.
Yeah. I don't know. The Wolves just didn't look like they were on as much. And that's not saying a lot, because obviously they were really close in almost all these games. When it came down to the final stretch, they just couldn't figure it out. And I think Jason Kidd is like, it's not a 2-minute drill, that's football, but like Jason Kidd was really good in the clutch. Like pretty much 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Basketball edition now, And I think my MVP goes to Jason Kidd for the entire series. Because Luka and Kyrie can do their thing. They did their thing. Also, my secondary one would be Gafford. Just absolutely putting a dominance out there against a guy who won Defensive Player of the Year, not once but 4 times, and won it this year. And a guy who thinks he's a 3-point shooter, not a poster player, apparently. But he also got to he's an all-star, and I don't think he deserved it, but that's all. Go back to former episodes for that.
go watch the All-Star.
Go watch the
All-Star episode. You'll hear enough of us talking about that. Yeah, but the Mavs, I mean the Wolves, even Chris Finch, it's a young team, so they'll have some things to work on in the offseason, but they'll be back. Another exciting team on the come up.
Yeah.
But the Mavs are on to the finals. Luka is on to his first finals. Wow.
And you're never going to hear that of it.
No. Wow.
There's no win. Now that we're finally
let's preview it. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Finals. The moment you've been waiting for all year. The champion of the National Basketball Association could be decided in the next month here. Could be as quick as the next 2 weeks, could be as long as the next month. So the number 1 seed out of the East is you have the Boston Celtics, who had probably the easiest path I've ever seen in my life to a finals in a conference. Here's the thing. It's not to knock them, because they were a good team. They are. But they had every single team they played had at least 2 of their starters out for multiple games. It's just like, and I know they've had Kristaps out for a big chunk of this playoffs as well, but every team already had a player out or multiple starters out, minimum 2 games. And it's just,
and every game was really close.
Yeah.
So,
and it blows my mind, but they're here, so I got to give them accolades. And right now, this Mavericks team is healthy. So the Dallas Mavericks, the 5th seed coming out of the West, big shocker, honestly. But now, kind of looking back at it, which I didn't realize, is they've been the best team since the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Luka and Kyrie really figured it out and figured out how to work that offense with all those role players. And then another thing is, these guys didn't have Gafford or PJ Washington to start off the year, and got those guys. And those were just huge pickups. I mean, we've seen what PJ Washington's been doing from 3.
Yeah.
We see what Gafford's been doing defensively. He's the alley-oop machine for Luka. And I think the Mavs have all the momentum right now going into the finals. They've had momentum before the playoffs even started.
They've had some tough games, man.
Yeah.
But I think that battle tested them a little bit better rather than
they had them battle tested. So yeah. I think they're coming in ready to play. and the Celtics better be ready.
Yeah, I'm going to look to Jason Kidd again on this one and how they're going to match up who with who. I think it's going to be a big deal because you essentially have 4 guards in a way and one center in Kristaps who can shoot a 3 and who can be anywhere on the floor as well. But like they're not, but any one of those guys can play defense. And so I think the matchups is going to be the first interesting thing because you have Luka, Kyrie, PJ Washington, Derek Jones, and Gafford starting for the Mavericks. And then for the Celtics, you have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis down at center at the 5. So you have 2 great perimeter defenders, two of the best perimeter defenders in the league, in Derek White and Drew Holiday. So you'd naturally think that they're probably going to have one of them be stuck between Kyrie and Luka, but also Luka is a little bit bigger. So you I swear I don't know what they're going to do with that, whether they have Jason Tatum, have Starver start on him, but it's just true that Drew Holiday and Derek White are both better defenders. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
I think Tatum will get cooked.
Yeah, I think Tatum will get cooked.
I think he would get cooked by Luka. I think it's got to be White and Holiday, but I think
Brown's on PJ Washington for sure.
Yeah, the main thing they're gonna have to figure out is just how to guard the pick and roll.
Yeah,
because if you take White or Holiday off those guys, it's
Kristaps gonna have to help a little bit.
Yeah, there's gonna be some trouble, which
I think he can. But I don't think Brown or Tatum can really guard the pick and roll like that. No, they're too no. So that'll be really interesting to see because that's, like you said, the Mavericks' bread and butter lately with Gafford and Derek Lively. And so that'll be really interesting to see.
And then another thing that I've been thinking about is just the depth of both teams. Yeah. I don't think the Celtics, have been cruising in the playoffs, and they haven't really had to, use any. Well, I don't think they have any depth, really. I mean,
they've had guys that kind of stepped up a little bit in times. Like the XM's been good in times, but he's been bad at times.
Wait, did I say the Mavs or the Celtics?
You say Mavs or Celtics?
I think I said the Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about Celtics.
Let's talk Celtics first.
Okay, yeah.
Well, the Celtics won't
had to.
No, they're now going to have Al Horford coming off the bench because Kristaps coming back. But
that'll be huge.
Yeah. Besides that, and
Al carried his own weight.
He's been playing well.
Kristaps being out, but Al Horford was a starter for the Celtics for years.
Yeah.
He's one of the oldest.
He's a shot blocker, a 3-point shooter. The man's 38, 39, and he's still killing it out there.
He's years 17 or 18, I believe.
Yeah, he's getting buckets out there.
Yeah.
But the rest of that bench, you look what they have: Sam Hauser, O'Shea Brissett, Payne Pritchard. When I look at the Mavs' depth, I think that they have the advantage over the Celtics.
Real quick about Payne Pritchard, the Pac-12 Network is just playing former games of Bill Walton calling, and I just saw Payne Pritchard there for Oregon. I was like, I hate this guy. But now we're seeing him in the finals.
Now he's in the finals.
I think Celtics have plenty of depth that they don't even need to use. If Mavericks tap into their depth, then easily pull a few out, let them rest. I think they're good. I don't know. I think they're going to be just fine.
Who, the Celtics?
Yeah. I as much as I don't like a lot of those guys, they're good. They're good depth pieces. So.
Sam Hauser's
not bad.
And O'Shea Brissett.
Oh, but look at who they're going to be facing off the Mavs bench.
Josh Green's better than those guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then they have Lively.
Yeah, Lively versus Al Horford will be a big matchup because Lively's just a lot taller than him.
Yep.
But Al Horford gets physical. He gets big.
I think Al Horford coming off the bench is going to be huge for them, being that 6 man.
I think that'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be huge for them. That's going to be.
So I like Al Horford. I like Al Horford there. He's going to teach the rookie little magic.
Yeah, give him a little. Yeah. Maybe a wake up call.
Old school.
Yeah.
Show some old school ball.
Yeah.
But Derek Lively, if he just sticks to what he's been doing, he should be fine. You just got to use his size.
It's gonna be a great matchup. It's gonna be a great series.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. I think one thing I also noticed about the Celtics is they rely so much on their 3-point shooting, but most of the time they're effective at 3-point shooting. But nights where they're not effective at 3-point shooting, they're not getting second chance opportunities from that, and then they're sometimes getting beat on fast breaks. And then when I look at the Mavericks, they've been really well in the past couple of series stopping that 3-point shot. on some good 3-point shooting teams.
Here's also a big thing was where the Thunder got hurt a lot is that PJ Washington in the corner and then Luka from these deep ass threes. You put either Drew Holiday or Derek White on either one of those guys, that's not happening. It's not going to happen. So that's why I'm curious. I think Drew Holiday stays on Kyrie the entire game. I think he's going to be the best guy to handle his handles.
Yeah.
But you get whoever guards, which bothers me because I think Jaylen Brown's going to take PJ Washington, and I don't think that's going to be good.
Might be a hard task. Yeah.
Because I think Jaylen Brown gets lazy on defense and will try to cover the pick and roll and go back down. And then that's where the bread and butter is. They see him right open. Kyrie just pops over to PJ Washington every time, or Luka does the same thing.
It. Yeah.
So I think that'll be huge. But I think the Celtics know how to guard the perimeter very well. But it just depends on who's on. So, but that's the other thing. You got to watch that pick and roll, like you're talking about. But that corner shot is wide open almost every single time. I think Derek Jones is not necessarily a threat that much. I mean, he's a really good board guy, and he's really good second chance. He's really good at second chance points.
Yeah, he's got that bounce. Yeah,
he should be an automatic bid to the dunk contest every year. He's so good. So I think that's another thing where the Mavs kind of excel at second chance points a lot because you have Luka who's getting a lot of rebounds from mid range everywhere. And then obviously you have Gafford and Derek Lively. Either one of those guys are getting big and getting boards there because they have a lot of bounce. Derek Jones Jr. getting the second chance points like I was just talking about. I think second chance points is a huge bread and butter for the Mavs. So because their efficiency numbers aren't even all the way up there when you look at it compared to the Celtics. So I think that will be a very big difference maker as well because Celtics better make their first shots because I don't think they're going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Kristaps will be trying to get a board, but I don't think any other of those four are going to be as aggressive as the other people on the Mavs when it comes to rebounding. So I think that'll be a thing to look out for.
And we're talking about PJ Washington and his 3-point shooting, how effective it's been.
Yeah.
Someone who's been really effective from three, I think this whole playoff has been Kyrie. I think he's shooting 42% from three right now in the playoffs. Kyrie has been killing it, especially into the later series. Like you said, this past series, he's been pretty clutch. And so he's been killing it. And then, Kristaps how long has Kristaps been out for?
Last 2 series.
He was out before the playoffs started, right?
No, it was in the playoffs.
Okay.
I believe it was the Heat series.
Okay.
Or no. I think it was the next series.
Okay.
Against the it was the second round. Who was the second round?
Who was the first team you said?
The Heat. They played the Heat first because the Heat won in the play-in.
Right.
Then they went and played the Bucks?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kristaps got hurt.
Oh, wait. No, Pacers played the Bucks.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Who's the other team? Knicks.
The Cavs.
Cavs?
They played the Cavs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because the Cavs beat the Magic. And then they played the Cavs.
Oh, shit.
Because I think Cavs were the 4 seed. So,
and
1-4.
Knicks Pacers.
Knicks Pacers. Yeah.
Oh, no. That was Bucks Pacers, Knicks Pacers.
Yep.
Okay. We're on the board.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. I think he got injured in the Cavs, in like one of the first games of the Cavs series. I
always wonder with big men how their conditioning is going to be when they get back.
Yeah. Because he had the same exact injury as
wasn't it that lower leg injury?
Yeah, I don't even know. It was like right near the calf area there.
Yeah. So I wonder if he's going to be 100% or if he's going to be lagging a bit.
Yeah, they said he's starting, so he said he's ready to go, but he's also had ample time to rest.
Yeah.
So I think he probably could have played the last series, but like on limited minutes. So,
they knew they had the series, so they're like, we'll give him max time.
I think they were smart with it.
Yeah,
and I think they know that they can't really win the series without more size.
Yeah, it couldn't just be Al Horford.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because then you'd have no size coming off the bench, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be big for Al Horford coming off the bench for that team.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess when it comes down to it, all right, give me at least 3 key takeaways for how the Celtics win the series.
The Celtics winning this series?
Yeah. What are the 3 things they need to do to win the series?
They are very good at pressuring the ball and forcing turnovers because of that. And even, they do that, or whenever they get a rebound, they're very good at pushing the fast break immediately. They're always immediately going. So I think if they're locked in defensively and they're always looking to push that ball, especially when you have a guy like Luka who might not even hustle back on defense, I think that is one key takeaway for them. I'm going to say it again. The second takeaway, X factor is going to be Derek White.
Yeah.
This guy's been,
I agree.
I don't even know if he's averaging 20 a game right now, but he might be averaging 20 a game in the playoffs. He's been playing very well. And so I think that he's going to be an X factor. And third, he has been playing very well as of late. I think you said he averaged 30 plus in the last round. But Tatum needs to solidify himself in this series. He cannot have any off games. He needs to be locked in.
I agree.
And he has been locked in. So he needs to just carry that momentum forward, because earlier in the playoffs, it was the narrative that it was all Jaylen Brown and Tatum was just kind of taking the back seat. And they're going to both need to play, which they have been. So
yeah.
I think as long as Tatum is locked in every night, dropping 30 and 10 and 6 or whatever it is, and then, Brown's doing his thing of 30 and 5 and 5, it's gonna have to happen for them to win.
I'm gonna add one more X factor in there. Scott Foster.
Luka and Scott Foster are about to become best friends.
I think those are great. I love the idea that you brought the turnover thing, because actually you've seen it when Luka's pressured half court, not just at the 3-point line. Yeah, I got to press him early.
Yep.
He has had plenty of turnovers that he's flaunting his arms. Like, oh, it's a foul. So yeah.
And then he's not going to play defense, and
exactly.
It's going to be 4-on-5 going back.
So I think that's huge. Actually, is press Luka really early, and he's prone to turn it over pretty easily. They already average about a turnover more a game than the Boston Celtics anyways. The Mavs do as a whole. And I think that'll be huge for that. Yeah, that's a great point. All right. Now give me 3 keys for the Mavericks to win this series.
First off, it's going to be that we've been talking about that pick and roll game.
Yeah.
If they can figure it out, they can figure it out, stick to it, where they're forcing the Celtics to switch. That's where the bread and butter is going to happen, especially when you have guys like Gafford down low for alley-oops, and you have PJ out at the 3, and you have Derek Jones out at the 3 or
slow
driving.
Kristaps.
Yeah.
And yeah, even when Kristaps is fully healthy, Gafford's a lot faster.
Yeah.
Just so athletic against. And Daniel Gafford's averaging almost 2 blocks a game. He'd probably average more of this NBA playoffs. I don't have the playoff stats up right now. But yeah, Gafford and Kristaps are right there when it comes to that.
So I think that's one huge thing. And I think, again, the X factor is going to be the front court of the Mavs, all 3 of them, Lively, Gafford, PJ. If they're all doing their role, then you're taking care of defensively, easy buckets with alley-oops. You're hitting 3s in the corner. It's a very scary team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And third takeaway, he's
go ahead.
I don't even know if this is a takeaway, but I'm going to say he's been doing better as of late, not complaining. But if Luka goes into this series just complaining at everything, being negative,
it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. I feel like that affects the whole team. That affects the play. And so he just needs to stay locked in. I will say one thing about both of these teams is that when they play at home, very lethal crowds in both of those places.
Yeah.
And both of those teams are very good at gaining momentum from their home court fans. And so I think
the Mavericks have lost. I feel like Mavericks have lost more at home than they have away.
Yeah, they have. Because then they lose they
lost the T-Wolves game there. They lost 2
against the Thunder.
There.
Yeah. So if the Celtics can take advantage of that, then
they need to keep that.
Yeah. Because the Garden, we know how scary the Garden is to play in the Garden. So
Celtics will have home court. It's going to be in Boston.
It's going to start in Boston. Yeah. So if they can just take those 2 immediately, that'll be key.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree on all those points. A few things I'm going to add. I think my key player for the Mavericks is going to have to be Kyrie. Kyrie's been here before. Kyrie's the only player in here that's won a ring, actually, I think. Right?
Yep.
The only one out of all these teams.
Yep.
I guess Al Horford might have. Has Al? Had been that Paul Pierce team if he did.
No, I don't think he was on. He was on the Hawks at that point.
You're right.
So I don't think Al Horford's even won one.
So, okay, yeah. So Kyrie's been here. He knows how to win a championship. I think he's going to be how he plays. I think is going to determine a lot too. And like we said, Derek White and Drew Holiday going to be on him. One of those two. I think it's going to be Drew, but I think it'll be huge. But I think Kyrie, what she's been doing all series is he needs to take advantage of that and pull them away from the rest of the team because he can easily pop it out. PJ Washington in the corner or Daniel Gapper down low with a mismatch or something like that. And he's been really good at that. So I really think Kyrie needs to be a good floor general here. And even if he's not making shots, he's got to be taking Derek White or Drew Holiday away from somebody else and having that open shot. So I think this game is going to rely on a lot on Kyrie. And he's got some young players. I think he's got to kind of keep Luka in check. He's got a little Uncle Drew action. He's literally got to be Uncle Drew.
He's the vet.
He's the vet.
He's the one that keeps everyone in check. He's that leader. And I think it's it's crazy to think that looking back at last year when they tanked and missed the play in, and I was sitting here just criticizing the shit out of them. Had no idea what was going on. And apparently the Mavs knew what was going on because they're now going to the finals.
It's like I completely forget all about that Kyrie drama in Boston or in Brooklyn and Boston too. And even with Dallas last year. And so it's like I completely forget about it. I'm kind of becoming a Kyrie fan again a little bit.
I'm a huge Kyrie supporter.
I always have been. Yeah. No, I don't support his theories.
Sorry. Yeah. Basketball. I've been a basketball fan of Kyrie Irving.
I've always liked him. And here's the thing. This is not his first time going to a championship with a massive complainer. So, I think he knows how to take it I think it's okay. I know it's hilarious, the joke, but it's kind of ironic that the fact that he's been to the finals with LeBron James and now he's going to the finals with Luka Doncic, probably the worst two complainers I've seen in the last couple of years in general. And LeBron's died down, but LeBron's just classically known that. For that, he literally has the most fouls given to him in NBA history. If Luka plays the same amount of time LeBron does, he's going to easily surpass that. But that's why I think I like how I love Kyrie's role is because he can be a star, and that's why I don't think it panned out in Brooklyn and in Boston is because he wanted to be number one, the number one on the team. I think he just really excels in that number 2 star player, that number 2 star role, and letting Luka do his thing and still getting even Luka's still pretty young. He's still kind of in training steps, which is scary for how good he is. As much as he's the most annoying player I've ever watched, he's good. So he's got a really good shot.
And going back to that, Kyrie thing about how he's had to play with some complainers,
some tough heads.
He actually I saw a notification today just talking about how I think his perspective and his attitude was part of the reason why the relationship with LeBron wasn't necessarily the greatest and how it ended. Not the greatest either.
It didn't.
And I think because of that, Kyrie has grown. Yeah. And he's now like literally that Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
He's the vet. And he's learned a lot. And it's showing what his leadership on and off the floor, I think, right now. And so I think he's ready to go.
I think that's funny to talk about that is as much as like their relationship on the court kind of hurt them outside of the court. They're they fed off each other so well on the court, though. It just their games matched up so good together.
Like Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, literally. And it's, literally. I don't think they're nearly going to be as close as Kobe and Shaq wherever, but still, it's like a kind of weird concept to think that like Kyrie played really well with LeBron. And much as I would hate playing with LeBron too, or anybody like him, but you admire the greatness. You can. But yeah, it's actually kind of funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, when you have a backcourt of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, it's a tough task.
Yeah.
Luka has been playing fucking insane.
Yeah.
It is insane what he's doing right now.
Takes a lot of shots, but he just don't miss.
His little step back three is unbelievable.
That's his entire game. It's just that
unbelievable.
little step back. No one can guard it. No one can get on top of it.
No. It's unbelievable. He is playing out of his fucking mind right now.
It's like the slowest step back too. I don't understand it. Him and Jokic, man. These two slow white dudes who could just make a shot from anywhere on the fucking court. I don't get it. Why couldn't I get this good, huh? Where was my accolades there? Oh, thanks, Mom and Dad.
We don't need the athleticism. We just need the shot. Come on.
Literally.
Come on.
I'm out here trying to ball today with my knees. I'm like, ugh, but at least I can still flick my wrist a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up in Europe, and there's no way in hell I can get in the NBA. But also, we talked about it earlier. It's kind of cool seeing Kristaps going up against his last team, the Mavs, and then also seeing Kyrie going against Boston Celtics, where Tatum was drafted when Kyrie was still on the team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So now it's kind of seeing Tatum take over this team. Kind of see that little transition there. I think that's really interesting to watch as well. Kind of cool.
They're both going to get booed in their when they make their homecomings.
Kristaps going to be booed in Dallas. I don't think people hated. I feel like Kristaps has been liked everywhere he's been.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I like Kristaps. I've always liked Kristaps.
I thought that was going to be an insane duo.
Well, I would not be surprised if Boston fans boo the shit out of
they are. Oh yeah, they will.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, he flipped them off.
Speaking about booing, did you see that? You see what Paul George said the other day on his podcast?
I don't think so.
He's like talking about, he wants his jersey retired in Indiana and in like LA or whatever. He was talking about that, and he said he'd be like the only player to get booed at his own jersey retirement if the guy's jersey retired in Indiana. That's what he said. I'm like, you know what?
Funny.
You're probably right.
Probably true. Probably true. Oh man.
Anyways, back to the finals.
Game 1 tomorrow night.
Game 1's tomorrow night
in Boston. 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern.
All right, for it all, give me your official, on the record prediction how this series is going to go down. Who wins it? How many? MVP? Who's taking the Larry O'Brien?
Man, it's hard because the Celtics have already been here, and so you think they got that experience now. They have a better team than they did the first time with additions of Drew Holiday and Derek White, and Kristaps, and so they're probably looking for some revenge. But then you look at the momentum of the Mavs and what the tear that they've been on as of late. Two teams that are they're hot right now coming into it. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna say, wow. I can't believe I'm about to agree with Trent, but I'm gonna say the Mavs in 6.
Mavs in 6. Who takes away the MVP trophy?
Again, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Trent. I would love to see Kyrie just with his whole story and how he's been playing and everything win it. But I think with the way the NBA goes in the script, I think if the Mavs win it, Luka's going to win it just because it's the NBA.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Kyrie win it. But yeah, I'll take the Mavs in 6. But the Celtics team could surprise us defensively and give these guys a hard time, and then it's going to be a completely different series.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
What do you got?
What I really wish is that some big investigation comes out and that the entire NBA playoffs was rigged with some deflated balls, Tom Brady style, and that we have to redo the entire NBA playoffs in July. But you know what? A man can dream. That's not going to happen. I want to honestly agree with everything you just said. I am going to root for the Mavericks this series because I like everybody on that team except Luka. And I kind of like the story of Jason Tatum choking on and on and on. And it's just fun to choose the underdog. It's weird to say that the Mavericks are the underdog here, but they are. Just for the hell of it, I'm going to choose chaos. I'm going against you. I'm going to say the Boston Celtics are going to win it in 7.
That'd be crazy. I could see it going to 7.
I think the Celtics win game 1, and then they're going to lose like 2 straight, or the other way around, they're going to lose 2 straight and then bounce back. I think they're going to lose 2 straight no matter what to this Mavs team, and they're finally going to face adversity for the first time this like entire season. It feels like. I mean, they've had like 1 loss games against some in this series, except the last series. But I think they're finally going to face adversity. But I also just think that this, as much as an easy step they've gotten to go here, I think this Celtics team has still earned where they got here. Obviously, they're number 1 team, and they were the best team all season, record-wise and everything, and top 3 in defense, top 3 in offense. I think it's too good not to take them. I'm taking them at 7, and I'm gonna give the MVP trophy to Jason Tatum. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want my own prediction to happen, but I'm just seeing it in a realistic standpoint. I think that's the most likely outcome, in my opinion. So,
and I think it's what Tatum's been to how many conference finals now, and no ring, and so he knows
he's already been to a final,
and he's been to a final, so he knows what he's got to do.
Yeah, it's not like he hasn't been here before.
No, he knows what he's got to do. He knows the narrative about him. So if he stays locked in like he has been, since this past series, then it's going to be a dogfight.
Also, there's a small part of me that wants to see Luka cry a little bit.
Well, him and Scott Foster are going to become best friends. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited for the series. It'll be good. I was going to say one more thing, but I kind of forgot. Yeah, Jason Tatum, MVP. The Boston Celtics, if they do win, will have the most championships. I think they're tied right now with the Lakers for most championships.
Oh, shit.
So if they do win this year.
They'll take that?
I think they're both tied at 17 right now, and I think they'll go up to 18. And they will have the most championships in NBA history, which I don't like the idea of that. I mean, we couldn't stop it, but they already have that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Trent won't like that. Oh, sorry, Trent. I don't give a shit.
He already made it on the pod. It's fine.
All right. Clocking it in. Denny thinks the Mavs are going to win it in 6 with MVP being Kyrie Irving.
Luka.
Well, you want Luka being the MVP?
I said I would love I would love to see Kyrie win it. I think it'd be awesome for his story and his everything. But with how the NBA goes, I think it'll go to Luka.
All right, I stand corrected. Mavs in 6. Big baby cry boy Luka Doncic MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Mavs hosting Larry O'Brien. I believe it's going to be the Boston Celtics in 7 with Jason Tatum going with the obvious stars, and I think it's just going to be true.
Yep.
Exciting finals. We have finally made it. This is episode 19 of the season, and
we're not done yet.
We're not done yet, baby. We're gonna hit 20 episodes by the end of the season. I'm so excited for that.
There's like what 3 days in between each game, so we might have to do like a mid series check-in, mid finals check-in after maybe like game 3.
Keep looking on Instagram and Twitter and things like that. When there is an announced time for when Adam Silver is going to have a press conference, we will be live streaming that. There will be some contraband involved. By contraband, I mean alcohol and maybe some weed. We'll see. Who cares? We're
explicit.
We have, we're explicit. I don't even care. If you're listening, I don't care. We have made a promise with us and our buddy Simon. We are going to black out the day that the Supersonics announced they're coming back. So keep an eye out for that. We're 100% going to live stream it as much as we can. We're just going to go crazy. And that's it. Bring it back. Go check us on Instagram. Go check us on Twitter, YouTube. I said I've been trying to upload things. I have been trying to upload things. I'm not great at it. I apologize. We're going to put more. I think we're at the point where we're just going to try to put more effort into next season.
We're going to have some off-season work.
We're going to have a lot of off-season work.
We're a young team that has gained experience by the day, so we will put in some off-season work.
Yeah, and stay tuned. We also are going to have we're in the middle of creating a big board for the NBA draft that's also coming up.
June 25 and 26, the first time they've split it into 2 days.
2 days. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We're going to have to. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be in Denver for a week. Start next week. Well, we're going to have to start.
So we'll figure
some
it out.
Offline work.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. We'll talk offline.
All right. That's it for us. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you for tapping in.
DGen Podcast,
yes,
episode 19. Close it out. Peace, Lou.
Peace.
Peace.